Hello everyone, welcome to a brand new video. My name is Fish, and this is a villager trading hall system. This is a 2-wide tileable system here, so here is actually the 2-wide bare bones system right here. And this is 2 of them tiled together. And yeah, if we go ahead and, maybe try to get our villager in here, see if we'll get him in there. Boom, look at that. He is in his position with the workstation doing his job. All cool. And then say if we put in a zombie in this area here, we can flick this lever and he will be pushed up right to this section, and the zombie will stop right here and convert him. As long as you're on hard mode, that should happen 100% of the time. If you're on normal, it will be 50%, and if you're on easy, this system will not work because you're on easy, as zombies do not convert villagers into villager zombies on easy mode. And then once you see him being done converting, you can flick this lever, he'll come back down. You can go ahead and throw your potion right at him, give him the golden apple, and he'll come back with some better trades. The same happens over here, same system. Maybe this guy, he's not cutting the budget anymore, he doesn't have the best trades. Or maybe he just disappeared one day and you need to reset the system. You can click this button here. And yeah, all of a sudden he's just gone. I don't know what happened. It's like a magic trick. Anyways, and then as you can see up here, this is all reset. So if we put in a new villager here. There he goes. And then if we do another villager just to see what happened in the second module. Oh, don't go that way, guy. Okay. Do a third villager. Nope, don't go that way. Yep, and then yep, this way. I would recommend. Yeah, there you go. You got it. And as you can see, he actually ends up in the next one, as these are disabled as the system fills up. So it's a really smart system, and it's using a lot of observer technology and whatnot. So guys, let's go ahead and get into the tutorial. But first, I would like to say that this is a design designed by Mr. E-Dog. And he has a YouTube channel which will have a link in the description, and his stuff should be on the screen along with a card linking to his video. So hopefully you guys go ahead and check him out. Anyways, on to the tutorial. Okay, so these are materials you're going to need. I'll just let you guys go ahead and gather those up. And this is for 1 slice, so go ahead and get those materials. Okay, so a few things to keep in mind is this system does require a zombie for the conversion system to work, and you want to have a weapon with 9 attack damage if you want this process to go a bit quicker. A sharpness 5 iron sword will work, or a diamond axe will also work. Of course, these are just optional things, so you could just have a regular zombie and have it take its time. Of course, you're going to need your supply of villagers, and then every other module you're going to need some activator rails instead of 2 powered rails. So you replace the 2 power rails for 2 activator rails. And then to convert the villager zombies into villagers again, you need your weakness potions and golden apples. Okay, so if we go ahead and get our materials here, there we go, rid of that. And yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to add to this double module here just to show how you would add on to your first module. So of course you're going to need to build out the floor a little bit more, and then you're going to grab your redstone lamps. Make sure you have some sort of button here. It has to be stone actually, because it's a specific time. Anyways, the next thing you're going to need to do is bring down an observer facing downwards into a piston, which will be updating this observer, which will then be powering another piston, which will be updating yet another observer. And this observer will go into a block, which will then power both of these sticky pistons, which will then be pushing a set of a sticky piston and a regular piston when this is activated. Okay, but to make sure this is in the right position, make sure this is the default state. So there you go. As you can see, this is always here instead of in that position. Okay, so next you're going to want to put either your workstation or just a temporary block right now, and then put some iron bars right on top. This prevents pathfinding to across, say if you had another section. So yeah, very interesting. So next you're going to bring up some glass here, and then put a block on top of it with a redstone block to the side of that one. So this redstone block is going to actually have your powered rail. Then this block is going to have your activator rail. Alrighty. So this, just for reference, is where all the villagers are going to be going through in this system. It's very important that they are in this, going through this area, of course. You don't want them going somewhere where you don't want them to be. Anyways, the next step for this system here is to actually come back around to here, and we're going to go ahead and work on this segment back here. So behind this observer here, you can place a block with a redstone dust right on top of it, and then you're going to place a block diagonal to that with a sticky piston and an observer facing upwards into a piston which has one block of air in between, then another block of air and an observer facing upwards once again, with a regular piston with a block of redstone on top, like so. This is a chain basically which will push this thing the way it needs to go. So next what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that you have a piston one block away from the redstone and facing inwards, like so. Then you're going to get a temporary block and place an observer facing this, and that will of course power that piston. So next you're going to grab a block here and then a block here, which is going to have redstone dust right on top of it. And then in front of that redstone dust you're going to want a sticky piston with an observer one block away. Okay, and then on top of these three blocks that we just placed in front of the observer, go ahead and place 3 redstone dust just like so. And then on the end block of these 3, you're going to place a sticky piston with a redstone block attached to it. Alrighty, so now we just need to do this inner redstone here, which isn't actually that much. So yeah, next we're going to have to continue this section here. So place a sticky piston to right here with a rail right like that, then a block of anything right there, and a powered rail like so. Okay, then we can come down here, and this is where we need to create a little bit of a circuit in order to make this double piston extension work. So get a sticky piston and place it next to this bottom sticky piston here, then come to this side and you can go ahead and just crouch on this guy and place it. Then you're going to come to this way and you're going to make sure that this guy is facing that way. And then we're going to come below here and you're going to place a observer facing downwards so that the face is facing upwards. Then over here you're going to do the same thing, so you're going to come underneath and place another observer like that, and that will power this thing here. That's no big deal, we can leave it like so for now. And then what we're going to do is we're going to place a redstone lamp like so, which will of course power that. A lever on top of that. Now this lever will always correspond to the villager to the left of that lever. Okay, now from here you're going to get yourself a redstone repeater like so, and then another repeater on top of there. Now this one right here is going to be on 4 ticks of delay. This one is just on its regular thing. Now would actually be a better time to put in that piston and block like so. Okay, so this will actually be going into a block with a torch on that, feeding into another block with a torch and another block with a torch. So pretty self-explanatory there. Next you're going to place 2 glass just like so, place a redstone like that, and then a repeater facing towards the sticky piston on full delay. Okay, now on top of this sticky piston you're going to place a regular rail, and then on top of this block you're going to place a powered rail, and that is going to be your zombie conveyor belt basically, where the zombie's going to be traveling. So make sure that if that you have some way to either loop this, so basically you could have a zombie going around your storage or your villager system, and maybe have them coming this way on these sides and then coming back through. And you could also, there's other ways you could do it, but I would just recommend some sort of loop. It's probably the most efficient way to do it. Okay, and so the last thing we need to do, guys, is place in our system to detect if the villager is in the right spot or not. So off this piston here, you're going to place a block and a block, and this is where you're going to place your powered rail. Now keep in mind, this is where you're going to have to alternate powered rail and activator rail. Okay. Now next you're going to grab an observer, and you're going to have that observer facing towards the front of the machine. And then that observer is not going to go into anything, but on top of it we're going to be observing and powering this set of 2 blocks. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to grab a block right here and a sticky piston like so, and put a piece of redstone dust like that. Next what we need to do is place a slab like so, and then a iron trap door underneath like that. The orientation of this does not matter. Alrighty, so guys, that is actually most of the thing complete here. The next thing we need to do is add in a wall so that we don't have the villagers hopping around, you know. So you can place 3 blocks right there, and then 2 blocks, and then 1 block in front like so. Personally, I don't think these blocks are necessary, but I think they kind of look cool also, so I like kind of doing that. But it's up to you how you do that, as long as there is this 2x3 kind of block here. This can be a stair or a slab or something, as long as they can't pathfind through that block. Alrighty guys, so that is actually the entire thing complete. So yeah, what we want to do to make sure this is all working is press this button. We should see some stuff happen, and the whole thing will put itself into what it thinks is the proper state. So this is important to do a little bit of troubleshooting to make sure the system will work in the future. So the first thing you want to do is make sure that this guy here is right here. Okay, there we go. So now when we press this again, see, it won't move. Okay, there we go. That's perfect. And that way, when this is pressed, this isn't activated. Okay, same with this one. You can see this piston isn't activated like that, and that's just due to having this observer facing this gap. Okay, the next thing to check is to make sure that you have your alternating rails, which we do: powered, activator, powered. Okay, and the last thing to check is where this observer is in the chain. So if the block is extended, it is very important that the observer is also extended. Okay, so that's something you always got to make sure. So now when we put a villager in here, so there we go, grab a villager, and if we put a villager in this system, and oh, good thing I remembered, you also need a string right here, which will activate the system. Go ahead and reset it. There we go, and place the villager right here. He will fall in, and as you can see, this is retracted and this is retracted. Anyways, that is actually most of the thing complete. What you also want to do is make sure that you have some sort of barrier in between these. So I'd recommend a block and either a slab or a piece of glass or just another block. But that is kind of a good way to do it. And then, of course, say you want another librarian, you replace this block here with your workstation. So now we can go ahead and say maybe these two are already occupied, so we just want to see the last one working. So this one's occupied, that one's occupied, and then we just need a minecart here. Place the minecart down, and the villager. There we go. The last one is occupied with our librarian. They all have their corresponding things. And then this should double extend. You go up there. Nice. Same with this one. That should all work. And same with this one. That should all work. Very nice. So, yeah, this is a pretty cool system. I thought it was a really, actually great system, in my opinion. And if you wanted to put a ceiling, I would recommend putting your ceiling right here. So that way you don't see any of the ugly redstone above, and you still have a bunch of nice ceiling room, you know. And yeah, guys, that is the entirety of this villager hall complete, guys. I don't know why there's a creepy noise in this world, but okay. Now, another thing you want to do is make sure that you're not pressing these. Like, if you press this one, don't press this one right after. Wait till it's completely finished making its piston noises, then press this one. and then press this one. So yeah, if you did it really quickly, like this one is still making piston noises, and you click this one, it'll break them and you'll have to reset a few things in the machine. Okay, now if you reached the end of your trading hall, I would recommend, or you actually have to, is block this area here off with whatever, and there you go. That way you don't have to risk the villager, getting in trouble, just like so. So yeah. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. I would highly recommend checking out Mr. eDog's channel, where he has a tutorial on this machine, and also a bit better of an explanation as he designed it. So yeah, go ahead and check him out. Yeah. Alright guys, see you in the next one. Goodbye.